Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving deep into a word you hear all the time in real estate, condominium. We're going to deconstruct it piece by piece so you know exactly what you're getting into.
Right? They're everywhere. You see them as these towering city high-rises, or maybe as these quiet suburban townhomes. But what are you actually buying? It's this really fascinating mix of having your own private space, but also being part of a much bigger shared community. So let's break down how that actually works. All right, so first things first. The most important thing to wrap your head around is that owning a condo is just fundamentally different from owning a traditional single-family house. Let's get right into the core concept of what you actually own.
And here it is, the key idea. A condominium isn't a type of building. It's not about the architecture. It's a form of ownership. You get the title, the deed, to your private unit, but, and this is the big but, you also become a co-owner of everything else. The hallways, the roof, the gym, you share it all with your neighbors. This really gets to the heart of it. Think of your ownership as being split into two buckets. First, you've got your unit. That's the space inside your own four walls. You own it 100%. You're responsible for it. This can also include what are called exclusive use areas, like a balcony that's all yours. Then there's the second bucket, the common elements. This is literally everything else. The lobby, the pool, the elevators. You own this stuff jointly with all the other residents, as tenants in common, which is just a legal way of saying you all share ownership and, you guessed it, the cost to maintain it. Now, just to make it interesting, not all condos are created equal. They come in a few different flavors. The one you probably think of is the standard freehold. You own your apartment unit, plain and simple. But then there's common element condos. This is often for townhouses. You own your actual house and the little patch of land it's on, but you all share things like a private road or a park. And finally, you've got leasehold. With this one, you're basically buying a long-term right to live there. We're talking 40, even 99 years, but you don't actually own the land itself. It can be a more affordable way to get into the market. Okay, so if you're all sharing ownership of the building, you need a way to make decisions together, right? And this is where we get into the condo's governance structure. Some people have jokingly called it a fourth level of government because it has a very real impact on your daily life and, of course, your wallet. So, at the very core of every single condo community, there's a legal entity called a condominium corporation. It pops into existence the moment the builder officially registers the property, and its entire job is to manage the building, protect all those shared assets, and just make sure the whole community runs the way it's supposed to. So, who's in charge of this corporation? Well, you are. Kinda. It's run by a board of directors, and these are volunteer owners who are elected by you and your neighbors. They're the ones making the tough calls about the budget, scheduling major repairs, and enforcing the rules. I mean, it is a huge responsibility, and frankly, the quality of your board can have a massive impact on your investment and just how happy you are living there. Now, this is a really crucial distinction to understand. The board manages two types of regulations. Think of bylaws as the condo's constitution. They cover the big stuff, how elections are run, how money is collected. They are hard to change and need a majority vote from all the owners. Rules, on the other hand, are like the daily guidebook for living there. This is where you'll find stuff about pet restrictions or what time the pool closes. The board can change these more easily, but you as an owner can still challenge them.
Okay, so we know what you own and who's in charge, but what is it actually like to live in a condo? Let's talk about the lifestyle, the good and the not so good. When you really boil it down, condo living is all about one central trade-off. On one side, you get this amazing, convenient, low-maintenance lifestyle with awesome amenities and security. But on the other side, you have to give up some of your personal freedom and you take on some shared financial risks. It's this constant balancing act between convenience and control. I mean, the benefits are pretty compelling. You never have to mow a lawn again. You'll never shovel snow. You don't have to worry about fixing the roof. You often get great security, and you get access to things like pools and gyms that you probably couldn't afford on your own. And those really big, scary repair bills for things like the elevators, that's what the reserve fund is for, a big savings account that everyone pays into over time.
But here's the other side of that coin. Those condo fees, they are mandatory. They're non-negotiable. And if a surprise repair comes up and the reserve fund is short, the board can hit all the owners with something called a special assessment. And that's basically a big one-time bill that you have to pay. Plus, you have to live by the rules whether you like them or not, and sometimes, let's be honest, living that closely with your neighbors can lead to some disagreements.
So, if you're thinking about buying, especially if you're looking at a brand new unit from a developer, you need to listen up. There are some incredibly important protections written into the law that you absolutely positively need to know about. When you're buying a new condo directly from a builder, there is one number that is more important than any other: 10. Remember that number. It's your safety net. It is your absolute, no questions asked right to change your mind. Here's how it works. Once you sign the purchase agreement and the builder hands you this giant stack of paper called the disclosure statement, the clock starts ticking on a 10-day cooling off period. During these 10 days, you can, and you absolutely should, get a lawyer to review everything. If you find something you don't like, or heck, even if you just get cold feet, you can walk away. You can cancel the deal for any reason at all and get your entire deposit back. It's a huge protection for buyers. And the law has your back in other ways too. That 10-day period is just the start. Your deposit money is legally protected. Your new home and all the common areas are covered by mandatory warranties against defects. And if the builder drags their feet and misses key deadlines, you might even be eligible for compensation. All of these rules are there to level the playing field between you, the individual buyer, and the big developer. So in the end, the decision to buy a condo really just comes down to this one question. It's a trade-off, plain and simple. You are trading some of your personal freedom and individual control for a lifestyle of incredible convenience, community, and shared responsibility. And understanding that balance for yourself is the absolute key to figuring out if condo living is the right move for you.